Hey, so uh happy Tuesday. I have been working really hard on the training and the presentation that I gave on Friday. So I feel like I've been a little bit more absent than I really want to be from the group. So I appreciate everybody's patience. But one poll that I did put out in the past couple days was, you guys have mentioned to me that you're worried about finding clients. I think with like any kind of building a business, that's a problem that people think about. And while I do believe that there's a lot of other things that need to be kind of like hashed out and figured out before we even start worrying about finding clients. Hi, Lily. I'll see you tomorrow. Um, I do want to do my best to answer the questions that I am getting here. And if you guys have ideas or strategies that have worked for you on like the different topics, definitely feel free to add them in here. So for today's video, on the topic of finding clients, what strategy do I use and what platform? That was the number one answer on the poll for right now. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Number one, you have to figure out who you want to even be working with. I think that is a pretty common trap that we can fall into when we go into business for ourselves, because we are trained to be, generalists, to be able to jump in any kind of like patient care situation. But at least when you go into business for yourself, the more specific that you can be with what you are trying to do, the easier it's going to be for you to be able to help people, for you to explain what you can help them with, and just, to find your clients. For example, like if you're just kind of like advertising physical therapy, and, people have all kinds of theories on this. This is just an example. But at least, based on what I've learned, if you are advertising physical therapy, for example, and you say, hey, I'm doing PT and rehab. I can help you with shoulder pain, back pain, ankle pain, knee pain, neck pain. I can help you get up and out of a chair, up and out of bed, blah, 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 all kinds of like functional mobility skills. And I can help you if you are 1 month old. I can help you if you are 105 years old. I can help you if you are a sedentary adult. I can help you if you are an active adult. I can help you if you are a teen athlete. I can help you if you are an older adult who is just getting started on fitness for the first time in their life. It's so broad. And even though, I believe that a lot of us have the ability to help anybody, it makes it really, really hard to market yourself, because you're trying to market to everybody for everything. So what I would suggest, and like we can talk about this in another video, and this is something that's going to be, huge in the course that I'm doing, is identifying who you want to work with and what problem you want to help them solve. Because starting off very, very niche down and very specific is going to make it very easy for you to figure out the rest of it. Maybe not very easy, but it makes it a lot easier than trying to be general with things. So number one, you have to figure out who your ideal client is before you even worry about, like marketing strategies and what platform to use. So say we've figured that out. Then the next thing that I would do is to figure out where your clients are. So, in this group, we are talking a lot about telehealth, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you can only find clients online. There are ways to go out and find clients like in your community, once the pandemic, goes away and everybody's better. There are ways to go out into your community to find clients, and then also obviously online. And just because like you have somebody who lives in your town, lives in the other neighborhood next to yours, doesn't mean you can't treat them on telehealth, but we could get into that another time. So finding out where the clients are. So like, where might they be in your community and where would they be online? So those would be two different avenues, like people who are in person that you want to talk to them online and treat them. Oh, thank you so much. All the hearts. And then just, people that you meet online that you want to help. So where are they? They're either in the community or they're online. And then platform wise, there are a bunch of different platforms that you can use. Obviously, like, this is Facebook. There is a lot to be said about Facebook. I feel like it's kind of gone like in and out of style over the years since it's come out, but it definitely is a really good tool for building relationships and networking. And like, based on what I know, might be one of the top contenders for a platform to use to reach out to your clients. Don't mind my frizzy hair. And then there's Instagram. I think Bill was telling me that he was looking at Pinterest and LinkedIn. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Bill. But he said his clients are there. There's YouTube. And that's just to name like a handful. There are a bunch of different platforms that you can use. But whatever you do, I would, find the platform that your clients are on, or even the one that you feel most comfortable with to start, just to get started. So say it is Facebook, and you want to start with Facebook. I would advise you to stay with one platform, to get started. Like I said, you can always move into the other ones, but it just makes it so much simpler if you just like take one thing at a time. So like using Facebook instead of, like adding a Facebook, an Instagram, a YouTube, a Pinterest, a LinkedIn, and trying to provide content on all 5 platforms all at one time. That it just takes a lot of planning and everything. And maybe you're really good at it, so then go for it. But, for beginners who are wondering how to like start with this, that's what I would suggest, is pick one platform and go with it. So say it's Facebook. Great, we have a platform. And then a beginning strategy that I would say, that's something that I wish I had done a little bit more of at the beginning. One thing and then branching out. We're going to grow like a tree, one little seed in the ground, we grow up and then we start to branch out. And then we'll build a strong foundation and be around for a long time. So this is a thing that I really wish that I had done, is working on creating valuable content to put out there online while I was like in the initial phases of getting started, instead of, I feel like I just went like 100% the route of like reaching out to people directly, but then like there wasn't necessarily anything to back me up, to talk more about like who I am, and like what my philosophy is, what I believe in, that kind of thing. And like people will gravitate towards you if you are vulnerable, and express yourself and share like your story and who you are, versus like just somebody kind of coming out of the blue and being like, hey, like, do you have any problems I can help you with? So you want to, on your platform that you pick, start to create valuable content, things that will actually have an impact and actually matter, versus like, this is what I had for breakfast this morning, unless you're doing nutrition coaching, So you want to go there, create the valuable content, and then build authority and credibility while still being personable and vulnerable. And examples of that could be like telling a story about, something that you've learned in the past couple days, past week, past month, an instance of something that happened to you and what you learned from it, and how like you're going to take it into what you're doing. So that's a way, to share more about your life and be a little bit vulnerable, because people relate to that. Or, you can just be straight up educational. That's another example. Like there are a million posts out there with exercises by physical therapists, different graphics with patient education, and that definitely helps to build authority. So those are just two examples of like content strategies you can use. There are a bunch more, but I think that could be like a really good place to start. Like I said, on your one platform, making valuable content on a routine basis that feels good to you and that's not like too much pressure, because if it's like an all or nothing thing, speaking from experience, that can make it hard to stick to. And then the third thing, last thing, like I said, I think simultaneously you should be putting stuff out there that builds your authority and credibility, while still like being personable. And then you should be reaching out to your ideal clients and building relationships and connections. So not just, messaging people and being like, hey, let me sell you on X, Y, and Z. Because in business, obviously, we want to get to the point of a sale, but you also have to get to know your ideal clients, like I said at the beginning, and figure out what their actual like biggest problem is that you can create a solution for. And if you just jump in with what you think that somebody needs, even though like we know a lot of stuff, you could assume somebody needs some kind of like back pain problem, but maybe in your ideal client population, maybe knee pain is like more of an issue, and you won't know that until you start to talk to everybody. So that's what I would say. My strategy would be is pick one platform that you want to use, one online platform, and then if you want to dabble in like community outreach as well, but at least on your online platform, you go there, build valuable content, and like put yourself out there so that people feel comfortable talking to you, and then reach out to your ideal clients and figure out what they need and then how you can properly serve them. So lots of different steps with that, but these are definitely things that I wish that I had done at the beginning. And I think it will make you a lot more successful and help set you up, for success and long-term growth. So yeah, do you guys have any questions on that? I just have a couple minutes here before I have to go, but I appreciate, the two of you guys that are watching right now. And I hope that this was helpful. And I'll tag you guys who answered the poll as well. Yeah. Any questions there? Awesome. Cool. Well, if you guys come up with anything, definitely let me know. Yeah, absolutely. Happy to help. Just go ahead and comment here, and I will be working on getting some more content in the group as well. I know that there are quite a few people messaging me with specific questions. So I'm going to do my best to kind of go through those and make like an FAQs page, so that I can get some answers to you guys. Okay, no questions. I'll save them for tomorrow. Good. Awesome. That sounds good to me. Well, cool. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon.